Hey everybody, here's a little update for you on the lunar eclipse tonight. Everything that you need to know, the timing, how this all works, how long it's been since we had one like this, how long before we have to wait for another one like this. I can tell you as far as the duration, this is a once-in-a-lifetime event because it's going to last for quite some time. So let's start by talking about what is a lunar eclipse. Pretty simple process. Basically, the Earth is going to pass between the Sun and the Moon, and it will cast a shadow on the Moon. This one is going to be almost a complete shadow. About 97.4% will be covered during the maximum. So we call it a partial lunar eclipse, but it's going to be very, very close to being completely covered. So again, what's going to happen during the overnight hours is the Earth will cast a shadow on the Moon, and that's going to be what we call a lunar eclipse. So that's what causes it. Here's the details on what you need to know. Technically, it'll begin at around 1:02, but you're not really going to notice much until about 2:18, and I'll explain that here in a second. So, and by the way, these are all times in Indiana time, Eastern time. So 2:18 in the morning, it will begin. It'll reach its peak, the best part, at approximately 4:02 a.m., and then you're still going to see some of this until about 5:47. Technically, it's not over until about 7:03. So the whole thing from beginning to end is basically going to be 6 hours, and that's what makes this so rare, is the fact that it's going to be a long duration event. But as far as the viewing of it and being able to see something, probably, let's say, from about 2:15 to about 5:45 in that range, and the peak will be at about 4 a.m. Eastern time. So here's what it's going to look like. So when we say 2:18, this is basically what's going to happen. The Earth is going to be casting a shadow, but not the complete shadow, on the Moon. So at 2:18, you're going to notice it's going to start to dim a little bit, but it will get better as the complete shadow is cast, and by the time we hit 4:02 a.m., almost all of the Moon will be in the Earth's shadow. Just a small little sliver will be left over on the edge, and then we'll start to come back out of that, and once we get into, say, about 5:47 Eastern time, the complete shadow is off. The Moon still has a little bit of a darkness to it, but the main part of it is now over, and then of course the complete thing will end after that. So it's kind of rare to see one of this duration. That's the interesting thing, and so I did a little checking on that, and the longest partial eclipse tonight that we're going to see, the last time we had one that was about this long or longer was in 1440. It's been 581 years since we've seen a partial lunar eclipse last this long. And how long will we have to wait to see another one that's this long or longer? You're going to have to wait 648 years until the year 2669. So this is truly a once-in-a-lifetime event in the sense that it's going to be a long duration. Once again, best time will be about 4:02 Eastern time. That's when it will reach its peak. Obviously, it'll be very easy to catch the Moon kind of in the southwest and west direction at that time. I will advise you that the weather looks nearly perfect locally. I mean, we're going to be basically clear. There'll be a little bit of a breeze. Now, it's going to be cold, so if you want to be out there for very long, you're going to need a jacket, a hat, things like that, because we're talking the coldest day of the season. At 4 a.m., we're going to have temperatures down into the mid-20s. So it's going to be cold, but if you get a chance, check it out. Should be a great night weather-wise to view this partial lunar eclipse. And again, at the maximum, it'll be 97.4% covered by the shadow from the Earth.